Hello, guys. Good evening. Today we're going to talk about AOC, and she's basically saying to expand the court. And basically, Kyle Colensi had a little fit about it. He's not happy about how AOC is handling the situation. He feels that AOC should just come early and then fight Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer early. So basically, this is where we are. So I just want to show you the video. I do follow Kyle Colensi a lot. He's a very interesting YouTuber that YouTube commentator, but he talk about politics, and let's talk about what he says after. See ya. Who is Mitchell?
So, with Amy Coney, we're not in a good place. I will not sugarcoat it for you. Others may sugarcoat it for you. I will not do that. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted the following when she got on the court. She says, "Expand the court. Republicans do this because they don't believe Dems have the stones to play hardball like they do. And for a long time, they've been correct. But do not let them bully the public into thinking their bulldozing is normal, but our response isn't. There is a legal process for expansion." The Hill says, Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar, a fellow squad member, retweeted Ocasio-Cortez's message Monday evening. "Remember that Republicans have lost 6 of the last 7 popular votes, but have appointed 6 of the last 9 justices," she wrote. "By expanding the court, we will fix this broken system and have the court better represent the values of the American people." Joe Biden already signals he's not going to do this. He said, "I'm against term limits." That's one of the things he said. That's one of the things that would theoretically help us in this situation. He says, "I'm against term limits," and then what did he say? "I'm going to form a committee to look into expanding the court." You know what that means? That means I'm not going to expand the court, because it's a bipartisan committee also, so you're going to have, I guess, some Democrats say, yeah, it might be a good idea, and then Republicans are going to say, we don't think it's a good idea, and he's going to look at the results and say, oh, okay. So, we've done our committee, thank you very much. So he's not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And then also, I love this idea that, like, right after they take another gigantic loss, it's like, they go on Twitter and act like they're going to be tough. Yeah, expand the court. You could have blocked Amy Coney Barrett. There's a lot of misinformation out there now where people are saying, oh, there was nothing they could do. Nonsense. They could have procedurally jammed Congress and the Senate. There were memos going around Washington, D.C., laying out in detail, hey, here's what you do. If you do a war powers resolution, for example, if you impeach Bill Barr, for example, if you get into a fight over the debt ceiling and Pelosi leverages a government shutdown, there were a million things they could have done. They could have jammed up the process and made it so that, you're telling me Merrick Garland was blocked by Republicans for a year, and the Democrats couldn't block Amy Coney Barrett for like a month? They didn't want to, which leads to the most important point, which I already laid out for you guys. This was their strategy. Their strategy was, everybody shh, let's get Amy Coney Barrett on the court and get her on fast, and then we fundraise off of it and drive people to the polls for Biden off of it. That's why the second it happened, they were all out there on Twitter, vote, 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 vote. Now here's the problem, guys. I already explained this in my other video on this, but it's a 6-3 conservative court. You know what that means? Let's give them everything they say, the Democrats. Oh, the Democrats just want a supermajority. They have the Senate, they have the House, they have the presidency. They pass a $15 minimum wage. They pass, an expansion of Medicaid. Those things will then get challenged in court. It will get to the Supreme Court. It's a 6-3 conservative court, and they will slap down any positive change and say, sorry, it's unconstitutional. What are you going to do? So this like, vote, vote, you just made it so that when we do vote, the results are not going to matter as much. How do you not get that? But they do get it, and they don't care. Because all they want is the power. That's what they want. They want to be in control. Now, Ocasio-Cortez, I don't know if she doesn't know this or if she does know this and this is cynical, but I'm kind of floored by this. Like, after Democrats lay down, Pelosi did nothing, Schumer did nothing, it was all symbolic, they could have done stuff, they didn't do stuff. Everybody lays down in a chalk outline of themselves, and then after, expand the court, and, oh, the Republicans do this because they play hardball and we don't, but we could. You ain't doing Dickie McGee's acts. Nobody's doing dick. Okay, let's be honest about this. And it drives me crazy because it's always like, it's the thing we're gonna do. It's never like, let's just do it right now. It's never like, we're gonna play hardball, we're gonna do it now, we're gonna make sure that we get the better outcome. They never do that. It's always like, but I will at some point, maybe in the future, I'll get around to doing something that's a half measure or whatever. So listen, man, it's infuriating. By the way, she's right when she says, 6 of the last 7 popular votes were won by Democrats, but Republicans have appointed 6 of the last 9 justices. But the fact of the matter is, Biden's already saying he's not going to expand the court. Pelosi and Schumer did nothing. So my question for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is, assuming you guys keep losing, because you will, at what point do you turn your guns on Pelosi and Schumer and Biden? That's my question. Because to this point, you're not allowed to do it. We got an election coming up and Trump is the worst ever. So therefore we need party unity or whatever. So when the Democrats lay in a chalk outline of themselves, I have to not attack them because that would be impolite. And that would be me ruining unity or whatever. What's the point of unity if you're always going to lose to the Republicans and we're always going to creep rightward as a country? What's the point? Clearly what you're doing isn't working. So at what point does the ire get turned on Pelosi and Schumer and Biden? Because I got news for you. It already should have been on them. And anybody who's hiding that fact doesn't know the mechanics of what's going on. Or they're simply a tribal partisan hack and they don't care.
So you see what Kyle Collins is saying. It is true that, it seems like the game that AOC is playing might not be aggressive enough, but I still, unlike Kyle, I don't understand the intricacy of the government, how it works specifically, or politics, but I think AOC has the right game. You don't want to piss off the centrists too much because she's a kind of a new congresswoman, and I think like if she wants and she becomes Speaker of the House, now if AOC becomes Speaker of the House and she doesn't push for stuff like that, I can understand that, but she's just a House of Representative member. But it seems like Kyle Kolinsky believes that if you're a House of Representative member, you have a lot of power. I personally don't think so. I don't think it's that powerful when you're a House of Representative member. I think that you just do you have a little voice, but it's not that strong, and so that's the way I feel about it. So like AOC. For me, it's like I think she's trying to play politics, and I like the way she plays it, but I kind of feel that it's the duty of Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi to black the how you call that, to black Judge Amy Coney Barrett to be elected. It is their duty. It's not AOC's duty. AOC can yell and scream and say no to Chuck Schumer and turns the gun. He wants AOC to turn the gun at Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. I don't know about what you think about that. I kind of feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm too soft. Maybe Kyle Kolinsky is hardcore. But like I kind of feel like not right now. Like wait after the election. I kind of believe that. But after this election, it's over. Game is on. This is the election that we cannot play game because there's the COVID-19. We are in a pandemic. And Trump is saying there's no pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So if you play that game in a pandemic, you're acting like there's no pandemic. What the hell are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I also think Biden might Biden's probably is gonna expand the court, because I think that it doesn't make sense for a Democrat to exist anymore. If you have like six judges, 6-3, I think 6 Republicans to 3, it doesn't make sense because the Democrats have no voice. So I think he's going to expand the court no matter what. I think he might expand the court. I think so. But if he doesn't, I think there's going to be Republicans that like some Democratic idea. I think so. So there could be that too. So guys, please subscribe to my channel and let me know what you think. Thank you.